how's everybody doing? Welcome back to Ask That Podcast on YouTube. I think these got put out. I did a long time ago. I was starting a series on Bad Girl comics, and y'all don't know what I'm talking about. In the 90s, after Image blew up, there was a lot of people keeping an eye on the comic market. So one of the things that took off was what called Bad Girl comics. Hyper-violent, sexually drawn, scantily-clad women fighting crime. There was stuff like, right here. Razor, the original Bad Girl really would be Vampirella. Vampirella came back. You had Lady Death. She's probably one of the better known ones. She by William Tucci. Harry Carey. There was like spandex or all kinds of stuff. The one that, and I didn't read a lot. I read She. I thought the art was fairly good and it was entertaining. Read a little bit Vampirella. Read a little Lady Death. But the one that always caught my eye, and I didn't pick them up back then because the prices were just outrageous. And it's actually probably my best comic deal, and I'll tell that story real quick. Razor, from London Night Studio by Everett Hartsoe. Back in 94. It was right after my birthday, which is in July. I was home on the coast for a little bit. I went with my parents. They were home. They were back on the coast. They lived in Texas by then. Went to go visit my dad's oldest sister, my Aunt Dorothy. And she's like, oh, I forgot to mail you your birthday card. And she goes, here. She hands me a card and she goes, I'll put you a little gift in there. I open up and there was $30 sitting in there. I'm like, Aunt Dorothy, you didn't have to. She goes, no. You're one of my favorite nephews. I had to give you some. I don't know what to get you your heart to buy for. Here's some money. Well, we're heading back to the house and Dad needs something from the sporting goods store. Mom wanted something from Mac Ray. So we stopped at the Single Room Mall in Goshen. It doesn't exist anymore. And they were having a collectibles show in the mall. Had this deal set up with comics, and it was, I want to say if you bought just one, it was $1 a comic. If you bought 10, it was 50 cents. Well, I had money on me. I walk up there and start digging through his bins. I'm like, dude, I'm going to be buying probably about 100 comics. He goes, you do that? He goes, I'm just trying to clear this stuff out. He goes, 10 cents a comic. I'm like, holy hell. I was like, all right, here's the thing. I ain't got a way to carry this. Can I get one of the boxes? He goes, yeah. So I started getting through there. And I saw Razor had been out for just a little bit. Probably, and I don't know how he ended up with so many copies. Probably been out for about 6 months. It might have been 95. Whatever. I found Razor #1, 30 copies, all of them mint. So I put them to the side. And the other stuff I got was like issues of Who's Who and Secret Wars. Stuff I was filling in gaps in my run. Well, I get home. And I go, of course, pick up my copy of Wizard. And look it up. Razor #1's like a $5, $6 book. Cover price was probably about $3. It ain't worth much. The next month was when the Bad Girl craze exploded and Razor started going up $10, $20. All of a sudden, this is a $50 comic and I got 30 copies. Now, I knew, even back then, I knew comics well enough to know that if I dumped all 30 at once, it would flood the local market. Prices would plummet. So I would take 2 copies. Drive my ass over to Biloxi or Mobile, go to a couple of different comics. Hey, man, I'm trying to get rid of this. I know it's worth 50, but, I know you ain't going to give me 50. What do you give me? And shops were like, oh, man, that's a hot book. Oh, man, I can give you, $25 because they knew 25 and they look, it's mint. It's bagged and boarded already. Give me $25. They turn around and stick it up on the shelf, slap a $50 price tag on it. It's going to sell. So over the course of about a year, I sold all but 1 copy and made myself a nice little bit of money. So I've always had a connection with the Razor character. Well, skip ahead till probably 2016-17. I found a great online resource for comic scans, and I found a zip file that was supposed to be pretty much every issue of Razor. So I downloaded it, and the Razor is now owned by Avatar, published by Boundless. That's their adult line, and it's just pure porn now. So I was like, fuck, I started reading them. It's not bad. So let's flip through. This is Razor Archives #1. This was a $3.95 comic when it came out. And it came out in May of 97. And what this is, this reprints about 3 or 4 issues of the Angel in Black storyline is what this is called. This is written and illustrated by Everett Hartsoe, letters by T.W. Montgomery, cover by Shelby Robinson. This is not reprinting Razor #1. I remember what was in that issue. I don't know where it's coming from. That is Strike or Strife, which ends up being Razor's sister. And you can see, extreme gore. You see the nipples. And there is going to be a little bit of nudity in this. I apologize. Y'all that are offended, just turn the video off. But look at this, just extreme gore. This is Outlaw Comics. Like Cartoonist KV talks about Outlaw Comics. Everett Hartsoe did Outlaw Comics. And Razor, she had 2 razor blades she wore on, and she went around killing drug dealers and stuff. And she ended up becoming addicted to heroin. And in the Average Heart Boundless series, she's a vampire now. I've read a little bit of it. Not the biggest fan, but I love especially when you find this stuff cheap. It's just extreme gore. That's the first issue. This will be the next issue. And see, One Strike, you're out. One Strike, you're out. Everett Hartsoe, story and art. Kevin Hill, script consultant. Daniel Presido, dream sequence art. And Eric Powell for The Goon. Some of his earliest stuff was working on Razor. A lot of people got their start. And if I remember, London Night Studios was in Hickory, North Carolina. I wish I'd known that when I was in North Carolina. I lived in North Carolina for a while. Look at this, man. Look at that. Jesus. Look at my eyeballs popping out. Just extreme gore, violence. Razor crossed over with, there's the dream. I like this art in the stream sequence. Razor actually crossed over with The Crow. I don't know how much of that actually came out. And I've never actually, I need to go down and do some research, see what all these Archies reprint, because I wouldn't mind getting all these. Just, this is some of the better. Look at this, man. Just cutting that motherfucker in half with that sword. Just crazy extreme. And next issue, Twisted Sister. Crazy extreme ultra-violence. Tim Tyler, inks and finishes. Tim Tyler, one of them underground outlaw comic artists, does great work. One of the guys, I knew the name, but I didn't realize how much stuff he did till Cartoonist Kayfabe. And like I said, I did the thing on Bad Girls. I actually filmed like 4 episodes because I got a pile of worrying on Ariella and stuff like that. And the bad thing is, I got them all filmed. I think I uploaded one to the computer they're on. I had not backed them, and the computer died, and they just got lost. I need to sit down and do more because the Bad Girl, there was some good stuff that came out of the Bad Girl. I aforementioned She was great. Kabuki. Kabuki was amazing. And Razor's not horrible. Look at that. I like this one with the knife in the head. Remember when I got these and when I went to, they're like that. We're riding back from the comic shop. I was with my buddy, the Fairchild, his girlfriend, and his younger brother, who's about 23. I'm sitting in the back seat because that's my rule. If I'm riding somewhere with somebody, I'm not driving. I don't care how small the car is. I'm a tall guy. If y'all never seen me, which you've seen me in videos, probably. I'm 6'3" barefoot. Barefoot with my head shaved, I'm 6'3". I got shoes on, I'm about 6'4". But, my rule is, unless I'm driving, I'm going to ride in the back. If there's a female, I'll probably let the female have the front seat. It's just kind of a rule I've had for years. So I'm sitting in the back seat of his brother, and I start flipping through. His brother's like, "Oh, wow, look at it." He's like, "Wow, that's crazy stuff." I'm like, yeah, man, if you want to read them when I finish them, you're more than welcome to borrow them. Now, I don't know how big he is in the comics. There's like 4 issues in here. These were a deal back then because, man, the issues of Razor, they're hard. They were going for a fortune. I mean, like, after that that whole first, miniseries was 4 issues, I don't think any of them were under $20 because hardly nobody bought them. And like I say, there is a little bit of nudity, as you see. Nothing major. I mean, this ain't full-on porn like the later series are. And that's the only thing I don't like about the later series. You just can't full-on porn. Look at that, man. Just amazing. And Strike, you find out later on, is Razor's sister. And this is the other thing. They've sold a lot of back issues, Here's all the series. Razor, they don't have listed Tommy Gun, Poison. It was all, badass women that kicked ass. Razor, okay, number 1, it was sold out time. Second printing was $10. Full Metal Fiction. And they also wanted that went into the nude covers where the cover had nude or ended up becoming, actually they paid women to dress cosplay as characters, and they were photographed nude, and they sold. I mean, they sold really well. Cadillacs and Green Tomatoes. Poison, I want to say it was Heather Elizabeth Parker. You buy original art from Everett Hartsoe for $200 a page. London Night Studios toured 97. Pittsburgh Comic Con, Dragon Con, Chicago Comic Con, and San Diego. Did I go to 97? No, I was already living in Texas by then. Okay, I went to Dragon Con, and I think I went to David Quinn worked for me. He's best known for me for Faust. There's the back cover of the Strike Files. But that ain't all. I got a second issue. I found issue number 5. You see this cover is very racked. You know, you can tell it's been pulled in and out. This was $5, but I think a mature reader warning. Kevin Hill, art, pencils by Albert Holasso, inks by Slick. And the art is better by now, but he's still got the extreme violence. I mean, look at that. You know, sticking the knife through the head. Just really interesting stuff that I would love, and I'm sure it might be out there because Avatar owns it, so they might have done. I'd like to have like a nice big omnibus collecting, like, you know, a good chunk of the original run of Razor. And the art in this, like I said, it's better than it was when it was just Everett Hartsoe doing it, but it don't feel as good. And I want to say the character of She by William Tucci first appeared in a Razor book. If that was their first appearance. Look at that, just ripping. Oh, man. This is the kind of stuff I look forward to cheap binge. Just oddball stuff like this that, you know, one time was semi-popular and then everybody kind of forgot it. And boom, now, you know, it's forgotten and I could pick it up cheap. Whereas, you know, back in the day, hell, that first issue of Razor Archies, you know, $4 cover price, probably within a month was a $10 book, you know, and some comic shops wouldn't care. And see, like this, I think I've read this one before because I remember that image of Strike. I'll continue next issue, and this is the next issue. And we don't get art credits, but the art looks a little different here. Choi! You know, kind of inspired by the Crow, and, you know, Crow was huge by this time. You had the movie, all that. And with it being black and white, it doesn't look as graphic as the blood ain't red, but man, this is some graphic shit. Extreme. Look at that. The head. Wow, blowing the head out. Look at that. Thunk. Twang. And I like how some of these later pages got a little yellow on them. And see some of the black ink, you know, so much black ink. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of Outlaw comics before cartoons kayfabe started talking about so long, and it got me reinterested in them. And I wouldn't mind having like a big run of this stuff. And then there's the Razor statue, and then on the back we go, oh, here we go, Crow and Razor, Kill the Pain, mail order exclusive edition, the crossover event of the year. Reserve your copy today. Signed by Hartsoe and Ugly Boy, $15, unsigned 5, limited just 5,000 copies. Hurry, send your check money order to London Night Studios. Blah 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 blah. Include $5 minimum postage per order and 25 cents extra item per book. All entries will be put in a draw to win an original art from the Crow, Razor, Kill the Pain. As far as I know, I don't think this ever got finished. I think they did like 1 or 2 issues and it just kind of faltered. I don't know if Everett Hartsoe even exists anymore. I mean, I don't think he's doing comics, but that's it. Hope y'all enjoyed that. If you did, remember, give me a thumbs up. Share these videos, you know. Leave a comment for comments. Do y'all remember the Bad Girls craze? Who's your favorite? You ever heard of Razor? What's your favorite Outlaw comic? Talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.